Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whichever location you are watching me from. My name is Prince Dunzo Onwadi of Dunzo Lore Accountancy Tutorial. Today we'll be going through a topic in management accounting, term limiting factor. This occurs in situation of scarcity of resources and is based on the premise that needs are many, but resources incurring costs are scarce. Usually, the fixed costs are not affected by this decision, so management can focus on maximizing total contribution margin, which are affected by variable costs and then the selling price. In such situation, the best mix of production that will maximize the use of the scarce resources are sought for. Scarce resources could relate to labor in terms of hours or number of employees, could relate to materials in terms of quantity required to produce one item of a particular product, could relate to machine capacity. An example will clarify this situation. On the screen is 1. Here, machine A is the constrained resources, that's the limiting factor. There are excess capacity on all other machines. Machine A is being used at 100% of its capacity and has a capacity of 2,400 minutes per week. The current demands for product A and B are 2,000 and 2,200 respectively. Therefore, the incoming order must be prioritized according to the limited assembly capacity available. Now, should external focus its effort on product A or product B? Below are the data to help us with this example. Price per unit is £70 for product A and £45 for product B. The variable cost per unit are £46 for product A, £30 for product B, and the time required to produce one unit in minutes is 1 minute for product A and 0.5 minutes for product B. To help with this computation, the following steps are normally followed. First, calculate total contribution per unit or product. Secondly, calculate the contribution per constrained resources, in this case machine A. Then rank this contribution per limiting factor according to the number of contribution achieved by each unit of the limiting resources. We're now going to do that in the next slide. We have noted this item price by A, variable cost B, contribution C, time required D, and the contribution per limiting factor E. So to get 1, that's the contribution per unit, it's variable cost, price minus variable cost, which is for A 70 minus 46, that's we've got 42. For B, 45 minus 30 give us 15. We've been given the time required to produce one, D, for A is 1, for B is 0.5. Now to derive the contribution per limiting factor per minute, we have to divide C by D. So we say total contribution per unit, which is 24 divided by 1. That's how we got 24 for product A and then 30 for product B. Ranking them in descending order, product B yielded a higher contribution per limiting factor, 30, compared to A, 24. So B rank 1 and A rank 2. It is this ranking that will be used in deriving the optimum mix of production plan. Here it is in this slide here. We need to identify the total available minutes or resources. Machine A, we have total 2,400 minutes available. So if we produce B, which is rank 1, we will need to use 2,200 that the demand required times the time required to produce one of them, 0.5, would give us 1,100 minutes, okay, of the available time. So the remaining time left to allocate to other products is 1,300. Now, working backward, we can now look at the available minutes, which is 1,300, and divide it, okay, by the time required to produce one of A. So we need 1 minute to produce one. So it means that we will be able to produce 1,300 of product A. So 1,300 times 1, that's the balance, 1,300 minutes. To do that, utilizing the remaining available minutes. So that's how we got the optimum mix here. So produce all of B, 2,200, and then produce parts of A, 1,300, meaning that we cannot satisfy 700 demand. Okay. To produce or to compute the total contribution using this optimum mix, we now multiply the total produced for A, which is 13, by the contribution per unit, C. So total contribution equals S, which is the demand, times C, which is the contribution per unit. That's how we got 31,200 pounds for producing product A. Now for product B, we certify the whole lot, 2,200 times the contribution per unit, which is 15. That's how we got 33,000 total contribution for satisfying all of B. So the two together gives us 64,200 in total contribution. So total contribution applying the optimum mix gives us 64,200. We can now test ourselves to see if we are right. Any other mix of production plan will yield a suboptimal total contribution. Let's try that in the next slide. Assuming we now decide to produce A first, then B second, we can now see how our machine A1 time will be utilized. If we produce 2,000 of A, it means we'll be spending 2,000 times 1 to give us 2,000 minutes out of the available 2,400, leaving us only 400 minutes outstanding. Working backwards again, we can now divide this 400 by the time required to produce 1 unit of B, which is 0.5. That's how we got 800 units to produce of product B. So 800 times 0.5 is 400, and that is the total minutes utilized. Slotting this mix, 2,000 of A, 800 of B in the above total contribution computation, we find that we got 48,000 contribution from product A, that is 2,000 S times C 24 give us 48,000, and for B we got 800 times 15, which gave us 12,000. Adding the two together, we arrive at 60,000. This is clearly below the performance or the contribution from the optimum mix of 64,200. So there's a shortfall of 4,200 if we follow this mix. All right. This is how to carry out limiting factor computation. And in this situation, how do we solve this bottleneck? The list of possible actions to take is shown here in the next slide. Okay, you can do work over time. You can shift workers to work different shifts. You can subcontract the work to all external bodies or organization. You can also improve our inventory system, invest in additional machine, particularly in this particular example where the machine is limited in time. We can invest in additional machine. You can focus business process improvement, try to improve our business processes, and then reducing defective units, okay, or wastage. This is how you can solve bottleneck situation. If you have enjoyed this particular tutorial, please share with your colleagues so that they can benefit as well. Please try and like this work if you're happy, and then don't forget to subscribe if you are watching me for the first time. Thanks for watching, and see you some other time. Goodbye.